Hello, class. I'm back today, and I'm going to be talking about my research on the Overmountain Men and their contributions to the American Revolutionary War. I'm going to be focusing on their use of the Kentucky long rifles during the Battle of Kings Mountain. The presentation will walk through the significance of the topic, the thesis of my research, and the importance of the sources that I've used and how they've helped me arrive at my conclusions. My research looks into how the Overmountain Men, a group of frontier soldiers from East Tennessee, used their Kentucky long rifles to win critical battles during the Revolutionary War. It really looks into their sharpshooting and guerrilla tactics and how that provided a strategic advantage. Most of this happened at the Battle of Kings Mountain, where a slightly smaller Patriot force defeated the Loyalists under Major Patrick Ferguson, and it serves as a focal point for my study. The thesis argues that these frontier tactics and weapons were pivotal in altering the trajectory of the Southern campaign in favor of the Patriots. The sources I selected for this research are a mix of primary and secondary, and they provide a comprehensive view of how these events at Kings Mountain occurred. The primary sources, like Draper, Manuscripts, and the John Sevier papers, offer first-hand accounts of the tactics and strategies used by the Overmountain Men, and these are invaluable for understanding the operational details of the battle. On the other hand, we've got other sources like John Wright's analysis of the rifle in the American Revolution, and it helps contextualize the importance of the weaponry. Together with these sources, they form a solid foundation to examine both the military and the cultural impact of the Overmountain Men and their rifles. As historians, it's important to know why our research is important. How does this affect what we're doing today, and how has it affected things that's happened since the event that we're looking into? And I feel like my research is important because it shows us not only the key tactical evolution in warfare, but the turning point of the Southern campaign and the American Revolution. The Battle of Kings Mountain was one of the first instances where guerrilla warfare and long-range precision shooting were effectively employed against a well-trained British force. They were Tories, but they were on the British side. Moreover, the Kentucky long rifle became like a symbol of the American frontier, and it intertwines the military history with the cultural identity of the frontiersmen. And I think that in some ways that still sticks today. We still have a special relationship with our ability to shoot well. Understanding these tactics shed light on how the early American military strategies evolved during the war and laid the groundwork for future combat methods. I found in my research that the Overmountain Men's mastery of the Kentucky long rifle and their guerrilla-style tactics were highly effective during the Battle of Kings Mountain. These long rifles, with their superior range and accuracy, allowed the Patriots to engage the British at a distance, picking off key targets, which I believe they shot Patrick Ferguson in the head at a distance, along with several other shots. The use of natural cover and mobility on horseback, the sharpshooter precision gave the Overmountain Men a decisive advantage, allowing them to overwhelm a larger and more experienced British force. This battlefield innovation was a critical factor in the turning of the Southern campaign. And if you look over to my left in my infographic, you see that I've highlighted the long rifles and the sharpshooting, and you can see the guerrilla tactics in this very nice painting. It has the use of natural cover, tactical surprise. They crawled up the mountain and just kind of were in on Ferguson's force before he even knew what was coming at him. So it's very important, everything that these fellows from Tennessee employed. I did find some really interesting quotes on this event. They illustrate the deadly precision of the Overmountain Men and their rifle tactics. The long rifles allowed the Patriots to engage at far distances, and you see that with David Ramsey's quote. He was the early historian who wrote the British are being uncovered were aimed at by the American marksmen, and many of them were slain. An unusual number of them have been found to be shot in the head. So it just goes to show that these primary sources are really a wealthy source of information for us to really understand how things were happening during this battle. I'm going to close by highlighting that some of my resources that I heavily relied on for my research, while these are only a small sample of my sources, they form the foundation of my research. I hope to continue my research of the Overmountain Men beyond this class, and I will eventually intertwine that with research of other military feats by Appalachian soldiers. Also want to note that Monday, October 7th marks the 245th anniversary of the Kings Mountain Battle. While considering these Overmountain Patriots who marched from Elizabethton, Tennessee, across Roan Mountain, through Bakersville, North Carolina, and Spruce Pine, and Marion, North Carolina, on their way to Kings Mountain, I ask for you to pray for those people who currently live in this historic Overmountain Trail. Many of those towns have been completely destroyed in the wake of Hurricane Helene, a storm that I believe will surpass Katrina's devastation once all the tallies have been made. I know that the tenacity and the strength of the Overmountain Men still live in modern Appalachia, but your prayer and support can assist these folks in their greatest time of need. Thank you for listening all the way through, and I hope to see you on the forums, and have a good week.